So when we talk about proper warm-up, what is proper warm-up? First of all, proper warm-up, it's a general, it starts out as a general total body warm-up, and we refine it as we move forward towards our event, whether it's practice or it's a bullpen session or an actual game. And so proper warm-up, there needs to be some consistency and some routine. General calisthenics, it's not rocket science, right? Everybody does it. I'm not a big lap running guy. I'm not a big pole running guy. I believe that, doing things just to promote blood flow and increase core temperature is important. It usually takes a few minutes to do that. And for the lay person, it's easy to remember if you're sweaty already. So we try to raise core temperature through just basic calisthenics. We also use our activation series as a way to warm up generally. So we will typically use things like a mini band to do some proximal shoulder muscle activation that helps us provide more stability, helps us provide a base of support so that our arm can function more explosively and more consistently. But it's really important for us to make sure that proximally we are stable and ready to go. So what does that mean? So proximal stability or proximal muscle activation, it's pretty simple. It's all the muscles that attach in and around your shoulder blade. And when they're strong and they're stable and we're able to manage them well and there's symmetry on both sides, that helps us to produce more, what we call more distal force, distal mobility, and distal function, right? So that means my shoulder and the rest of my arm can function optimally when my shoulder blade, the muscles around my shoulder blade or my scapula, is most stable. And so we have a series of exercises that we prescribe to our athletes and our patients that they have to do before they start to produce more forceful activity and more sport-specific activity. So it's more of a general approach first before a more specific approach. So we do our muscle activation. Again, we like to use mini bands, a variety of very inexpensive implements, mini bands, sport cords, furniture sliders, physio balls, dumbbells, 5 pounds or less. And we can set up a really nice circuit for our athletes to do prior to practice or prior to a game or prior to a bullpen session. But it's super important that these athletes are understanding why we're doing this and how consistency is critical to optimal performance. Same thing goes for the lower body. In order for my legs to produce any type of meaningful force in a functional manner, I've got to make sure that my hips are stable, that the muscles in and around my hips, my gluteal muscles, all of my little rotator muscles, the 36 muscles that innervate or attach rather around my hip that provide me with stability, they need to be firing together in order to provide me with optimal stability. And once I'm stable and those muscles are active, it's much easier for me to produce more power, more explosivity, and obviously better balance and ultimately a better performance, whether they're hitting, they're running, they're catching, they're throwing, they're pitching. So the general rule of thumb is that we try to stabilize proximally before we try to produce any type of distal force or mobility or athletic activity.